holding me back from pursuing my dreams for many years was simply the fear of failure. And it was that fear of success, too. You ever had that fear of success? Fear of success is, you reach a certain level and then you don't feel worthy of that level. And then you start doing things to self sabotage. And with that lack of self confidence that I needed, oh man, it just, I guess you could say with that fear of success came that lack of self confidence that I needed to overcome those fears. It's to me, I think at some level, it's something we all face at some degree. And the key question is, how do you overcome that fear? Hey, it's me, Tracy Brinkman, your CIO here at YourSuccessAtLast.com. CIO, your Chief Inspiration Officer, with another episode of Your Success at Last DNA. Foolproof plan to boost your confidence. So, you see, I'm sorry, I'm just jumping right into things today, right? See, for me, by working on your self-confidence and your self-esteem, that's how you're going to overcome the fear. I mean, I asked the question before I introduced myself. I just jumped right in and started talking to you. Figured, hey, by the way, this is who I am. We got some new folks that are going to be listening in because I'm giving out the free sessions all week. So how do you overcome the fear? Yep, that's it. By working on your self-confidence and your self-esteem. Without really thinking about it in those terms, that's kind of what I've been doing for 51 years, you could say, and it's helped me to overcome many fears and pursue many, many dreams. I have fears. Listen, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, there are things that I fret, like get concerned about, but I know I can beat them. That's the difference. I know I can break through any wall of fear I have and come out on the other side. Come out with blood, sweat, and tears. Come out with big smiles on my face, maybe with a couple of bruised knees and bandaged knuckles, but I've done it many times. And that is what fuels that confidence and that success. Each success, no matter how small, it's going to fuel the next one. All right, well, I'm getting ahead of myself on today's topic. I almost forgot to ask today's question. And today's question is, how are you using your talents? Right? We're going to talk a little bit about your talents in a minute here, so it's almost a perfect day to do this. But we all have talents. We really do. Sometimes those talents are so innate to us that we don't even realize it's a talent. And we think everyone's good at it, and they're not. There are things that I take for granted that most people are going, dude, how do you do that? Seriously? And I look at my daughter and certain other folks that are close to me and think, girl, how do you do that? Seriously, right? So how are you using your talents? Okay, I want you to take a minute to think about today. All right, so let's get back to the topic at hand. See, many of the things I talk about in my podcast, in the coaching sections that I do, in the products that I'm doing, make people feel better about themselves, and they literally help build their self-confidence, help build my self-confidence. So certainly they'll build their self-confidence too. However, what if one of those folks, or what if you don't really fit in? Quote, I'm doing the little air quotes here. You can't see it because this is a podcast. Don't fit in. Um, that's me, right? I've been there, and I'm sure you have too. You've been in some environment. Maybe it's a work environment, it's a school environment. It's a new group of people, and you just don't quite fit in. Tackling things at that point in time can be really hard, especially if you have low self-esteem or low self-confidence. It's near impossible to make time for your dreams or to break free of any kind of traditional mold and be true to yourself if you have low confidence and low self-esteem. However, let me pause for a quick moment and let you know one thing. I'm going to define, however you define those two things, self-confidence and self-esteem, I'm going to be using them interchangeably in this episode. I know the differences are subtle, and they're probably important. Don't get me wrong. But the difference of whether you believe in yourself, whether you believe you're worthy of respect from others, also known as self-esteem, or whether you believe in yourself, also known as self-confidence, in the end, they amount to the same thing for the purpose of this discussion. In the end, the actions I'm going to talk about that I want you to take, right, that I'm going to give you below, will boost both your self-esteem and your self-confidence. So, hence, I'm going to be using them interchangeably. All right. So let's talk about taking control of your self-confidence. If you're low in self-confidence, is it possible to do things that'll change it? Yeah. Raise your hand. Yeah. Is it possible? Is it possible that your self-confidence is in your control? You know, a lot of folks, it may not seem so, especially if you're low on the tank in self-confidence and in self-esteem. It's really going to seem hard or impossible. I strongly believe that you can do things to increase your self-confidence. Actually, I know for a fact you can. I've done it. It's not genetic after all. You don't have to rely on others to increase your self-confidence. Heck, the name in and of itself says you can't rely on others to increase self-confidence. Huh? Right? So if you believe that you're not very important, that you're not very smart, that you're not very pretty, that you're not very handsome, that can be changed. How many of us have known someone that you looked at and say, well, you're not all that beautiful, yet they believed they were gorgeous? That's right. However you want to view that, maybe it was an extreme case, but there are even some people that are just average, but they feel beautiful, right? You want some of that, not too much, right? You don't want to get crazy about it. You see, you can become worthy of respect. You can pursue everything that you want, despite all the naysayers. You can do this, how? By taking control of your life, by taking control of your self-confidence, by taking concrete actions that improve your confidence, your self-image, and increase that confidence in its self-image without the help of anyone else. So that's why you're here, and that's why I've been babbling on for 6 minutes. I want to share with you 8 things that you can do to do just that. Now, let's be honest, none of these are really revolutionary, and none of these are going to do it all by themselves. The list is not comprehensive. I only have about 15 minutes that I like to keep these podcasts into. I can't give you 100 things that you could do to improve your self-confidence in 15 minutes and not do them any justice. Nope, sorry, can't do it. You want that? Go Google and get your list, because you're not going to do anything with it anyway. I want to give you some solid things that I know work because I've used them myself or used them with clients and seen their reactions. And these are just some of my favorites, because, like I said, they've worked for me. So before we get started, let me set the mind straight. Do you feel you could benefit from more self-confidence? Just nod your head, right? The answer is yes, like Zig says. I'll give you the answers to the tough ones. Do you feel you could benefit from strengthening your self-confidence? Yep. The answer is yes on that too. See, while it's not 100% imperative, you don't have to be confident. It certainly makes life a whole lot easier. You don't have to be confident, but it certainly makes whatever action you're about to jump into a whole lot easier to jump into. You can accomplish things without self-confidence, but would you actually try? Would you go for that big goal if you didn't have the self-confidence? You might. I mean, let's be honest. I've seen folks that were shaky in the legs get out there and take the first couple of steps, but as soon as the goal presented its first obstacle, yeah, they stopped. Often they turned around. Many of them never even took the first step. And therein lies the wins that we can get here. Confidence can be elusive as soon as your success ebbs and wanes. Right? We've all seen that. How many have we seen those sports heroes that when the games were being lost, oh, they're like, oh, this and oh, that, and everything's ugly. And maybe it's your kids. You see that, oh, they get this thing and they just can't figure that math homework out. And their confidence just goes tank, tank, tank. And you work through them and you help them understand it. And you build that confidence back up because they're not stupid, even though they may be thinking they are. They're not. They just don't understand at the moment. So they've got to have that self-confidence that they can figure it out. Don't try to give them the confidence of they know everything. Give them the confidence that they can figure it out, right? So it's all in your perception for you too, not just your kids. So how can you maintain your confidence through all these ups and downs? Here are the 8 tips I keep teasing you about. Number 1, know thyself. I said these are not going to be earth-shattering, but they are going to be effective. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to make a list of all your strengths and all your abilities, all your capabilities, right? The things that you seem to have a talent for, even if you've never done them, right? Never made a career out of them, never made a hobby out of them, but every time you've done them, right? I almost sound like I stepped on my own words, right? It just came easy. Right? Perhaps you're reliable. Perhaps you're intelligent. You're coordinated. Maybe you got musical abilities. Maybe you can dance your butt off. Do you have that ability to look at someone doing a dance routine and just figure out the first couple of moves and stand up and do it? That's a talent. Okay, there it is. That's knowing yourself. That's a strength. It's a capability. You may not be leveraging that yet, but you have it. So here's the thing. Putting your positive qualities on paper will show yourself, that there are many reasons you have to be confident and to have self-esteem. Right? You're already better than you think you are. Here's what I want to do. To take this one step further, ask your spouse. Ask your kids. Ask your fellow associates, your employees, and your boss the exact same question. Ask them, what are my strengths and capabilities? What do you think my strengths and capabilities are? And ask them to give it back to you. Send them an email, however you want to do it. You'll start seeing a consistent pattern through everybody. And some of them will notice other things that others will not. Maybe it has to do with the relationship you have with them. But the idea is there'll be one or two, maybe three or four things that will be universal across the board, maybe said 14 different ways. But the idea is you'll start seeing positive qualities that you can put down and realize, wow, I have something to believe in. All right? Know thyself. So number 2, I want you to take that one step further. I want you to list your major achievements. This might be a great time to start a little journal. Just pick up a little journal. Or just take a few pieces of paper and put them in a loose leaf notebook and just write. All right? Because I want you to list your major achievements. Think of all the amazing things that you have already accomplished. I mean, here's the thing. So many people spend so much time lingering in the past. Fine, go ahead. Linger away. But if you're going to linger on the good stuff for a change, right? Right? Here's the one thing I believe we have full control of, and that's our thoughts. Whoever you believe in, the creator, it's God, Allah, that elephant-looking guy in Hinduism, Buddha, or Mother Nature, or just the Big Bang Theory. The one thing we as humankind have the ability to control is our thoughts. So let's put them to good use, right? You can choose your thoughts, so choose wisely. Make a list of all your major achievements. Now, we're going to take this one step deeper, and I want you to make a list of your daily accomplishments. See, when I first started online with goal setting, I created a little goal setting set of worksheets to help people with that. And as I developed version 2 of it, I had a daily sheet. It had where you could put all the tasks you wanted to get done that day, places for appointments, some scoring things down at the bottom of the sheet that you kind of tick off. Hey, I did this, I did that. Yes, yes, yes. No, no, no. And you gave yourself kind of an overall score for the day. Woo. And then there were some places for you to, of course, check off the tasks you accomplished, and then as any new ones that you did. I mean, at the end of each day, we've all done things. We've gotten things done. It could be something as simple as, you remembered to take the trash out, right? You remembered to pay your bills on time. You exercised for however long you planned on it. That could be 30 minutes. That could be 60 minutes. That could be for whatever length of time. You did it. You helped your daughter with her homework. You helped your son fix his bike. They might sound trivial, but you know what? When you go back and you look back at them at the end of the week, wow, I got a lot done this week. You will feel better about that. These little things are going to matter. Right? So list your daily accomplishments. All right? Number 4, learn how to motivate yourself. I love this one. This is one of my strengths and capabilities because real, justified confidence comes from the ability to achieve goals. And achieving goals comes from the ability to stay motivated. Hello? Right? We all know it's easier to put things off, to procrastinate, to lollygag, and invent this laundry list of excuses for not applying ourselves. Oh my God, I could go on all day. I've heard them all. I've said most of them myself, by the way. All right? Here's what I want you to do. I want you to set yourself up for success each and every day. Come up with a couple of daily activities that are going to improve your life and provide you with a sense of accomplishment. It could be something simple in the beginning that, I've been wanting to read this book for 3 years now. I'm going to read a minimum of 2 pages every night before I go to bed. There you go. And as soon as you start doing that, here's what's going to happen. You're going to get hooked on that book. You're going to read 2 pages and 3 pages and 4 pages. And you'll put it down. And the next night you'll read 2 pages, 4 pages, 10 pages. Right? You'll feel, wow, that confidence building up in here because you're sticking to your own plan and you're finally getting to accomplish something you've been wanting to do. So stick with your plan and you'll begin to trust in yourself, trust in yourself to follow through. And that self-trust builds self-esteem, which builds, and that self-esteem and self-trust, self-confidence. You feeling me on this? I know you are. All right, number 5, take good care of yourself. We're going to run a little bit over here. Number 5, I've got number 8 to go. I want you to take good care of yourself because looking and feeling your best is going to do huge things for building your self-confidence. Take this time to stay as healthy and as fit as you are able, right? Dressing well and practicing good habits. Now, if you're already a little wobbly when it comes to the health and fitness, well, then you start. You take one baby step. Hey, Tracy, I'm 575 pounds. Of course, I'm exaggerating on purpose. Okay, that's fine. You're 575 pounds. Doesn't mean you have to be 575 pounds. And if you have to, do the best with what you got. Stay as healthy and as fit as you're able to. And then keep pushing yourself to the next level. And whatever that next level is for you, right? And there's people on the other end of the spectrum who are 80 pounds who need to gain some weight. All right, well, then work on that too. You see, if you take good care of yourself, you start to believe that you deserve it. And when you start to believe it, others start to believe you deserve it too. And they'll treat you like you deserve it. And then you'll start believing it even more. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is great for your level of confidence. Number 6, set goals to boost your confidence. Yeah, setting goals is important. It also allows you to see what areas of your life are going to need the most confidence, the most self-esteem, for you to break through those barriers. If you have a goal for finding, say, your perfect life partner, I don't have that goal. Well, not anymore anyway. You might require, thank you, Diane, by the way. You might require more confidence when it comes to, say, introducing yourself to handsome gentlemen or pretty ladies, right? All right, so set yourself a goal on how to practice that. Maybe you want the next CEO level job, or you just want the next promotion. You're going to need some self-confidence in building the skills to get it. All right. So setting these goals is important. It helps you see those gaps, and you can reach for those gaps. Setting those goals alone and it's going through each single step builds each single level of layer of self-confidence and self-esteem. Okay. Now, number 7, challenge your mind on a regular basis. So many people don't do this. I want you to create some learning things to keep your mind sharp. Here's a cool benefit of this. If you keep your mind sharp, people around you are going to find you interesting. Because when you have a sharp mind, you have an ease of response, an ease of articulation, the ability to come up with witty answers, maybe a little humor, or just interesting facts that they're going, wow, I did not know that, right? You don't have to be a smart aleck. You don't have to be Mr. Know-It-All. You don't have to be, Robin Williams. No one will ever be Robin Williams, by the way. God rest in peace. But you get the point. Here's the thing. You can consider reading. You can try doing brain puzzles. I'm not a big fan of watching the news ad infinitum, but certainly staying on top of current events will enable you to engage intellectually, or at least coherently, right, on topics that are going on in your world. Maybe you want to improve your vocabulary. You could do things by playing games that require a lot of thought, some strategy, right? So I want you to keep your mind sharp. Challenge your mind on a regular basis. This is going to do huge things for your self-confidence and your self-esteem. And last but not least, continuous. I want you to work at it every single day. Work to complete all these little things every single day. This consistency is going to breed a higher level of self-confidence and a higher level of self-esteem. Strive to your better self in any area, in all areas, every single day. And even if it's just a millimeter, even if it's just an eighth of an inch, because inch by inch, it's a cinch. Here's the reason I want you to do this every day. Self-confidence is not a one-time event. I got to say that again. It's almost 20 minutes. I got to go now. Self-confidence, ladies and gentlemen, is not a one-time event. It is cultivated over time Growing your self-confidence is not much other than growing vegetables or growing a tree. You don't plant the tree and say, where's my vegetables? You plant the seed, you water the seed, you nurture the seed, you fertilize the seed, you get it sunlight, you give it the shade that it needs, and then it starts to grow. And then you reap the rewards. Having a high level of confidence makes life so much more enjoyable. Let me tell you, I can't explain, I can't articulate right now because I'm running out of time. Just the confidence, the joy that comes with having the ability to walk up to a stranger and say hi when so many people can't do that. By executing a simple plan to increase your confidence, it can be fun. It can be interesting. So I want you to consider drawing up your own personalized self-confidence action plan. And if you don't think you can do it, get a coach. There's gazillions of them out there. I have a couple of slots open myself. Not that this is some sort of sales pitch fest, but certainly if you want someone to work with you on developing your own self-confidence or your own goal setting, a goal achieving action plan, give me a holler, Tracy at successatlas.com. Let's see if we're a fit for each other. I'm not for everyone, okay? But let me tell you, it can certainly be incredibly rewarding. And in the process, you're taking charge of your life. And that fact alone is going to boost your confidence and your self esteem higher than you even realize. All right, so I ran over again. I'm catching up with everybody. All right, I'm catching up with you all with some past podcasts, some content I just had to share. So tomorrow we're going to talk about 7 strategies for getting more done each and every day. Then after that, the next day is going to be achieving your goals regardless of obstacles. And finally, we're going to end the week with achieving some balance in your life. Ooh, some tips I think we all kind of need to hear, myself included. So with that, I'm going to leave you now. 5 minutes over. Again, sorry, ladies and gentlemen. With that, I'm going to tell you bye-bye. Think successfully. Take action. Bye-bye.